Well, it's been a rough few days. Fire at sea, we have had a crew tragedy, passenger missing, and more. Yeah. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views. It's for your face, but today it feels like it's for the heart. A bunch of sad cruise news stories today, but life, right? You got to take the good with the bad. Cruise news story number one, an interesting saga played out on the high seas yesterday as the Carnival Freedom caught on fire while at sea. Now, I've pieced together everything that I know from official sources and tip sources, that kind of thing, but it sounds like the ship was sailing in bad weather near the Bahamas. We have passengers on board saying that lightning struck the funnel and set it ablaze on the Carnival Freedom. It shouldn't be lost on anybody that the Carnival Freedom's funnel completely burned off last year, and the funnel that they're sailing with now is a new funnel. So apparently lightning strike ignites the funnel. The captain turns the ship back into a storm, into heavier rain to help fight the fire. So you've got, the funnel on fire, passengers told to remain off of the outer decks. The funnel burns enough where part of the funnel falls down onto deck 10, and the firefighting team there on the Carnival Freedom puts out the fire. The fire gets put out. No passengers are injured. The Coast Guard activated, their support team activated to help the cruise ship. And from every account, everything on that ship seems to be okay. People are continuing on with their cruise. Like I said, no injuries, fortunately. And that ship will return to Port Canaveral at its normal scheduled time on the 25th tomorrow. I just realized I probably didn't tell you the date. I know that's helpful to a lot. Today's the 24th of March 2024. And thinking about it, honestly, this turns out to be a good story. Obviously, you don't want fire at sea, but the outcome is the outcome that you want. Protocols, procedures kick into place. The teams take care of the things that they need to take care of, and then they go forward from there. No word yet whether the next cruise will be impacted, but we've seen that ship sail with a modified funnel before. Freedom of the seas. It's seeming a little bit unlucky at this point when it comes to that whale tail funnel. Cruise news story number two, unfortunately not a story with a happy ending. Two crew members have lost their life on Holland America Line's Nieuw Amsterdam cruise ship. The cruise line released a statement saying that there was an incident in an engineering space that resulted in these crew members losing their life. There have been some secondary reports beyond the official report. Passengers on board reporting an announcement from the captain that it was a steam-related incident, no fire, but a steam-related incident. But regardless of the circumstance of the tragedy nonetheless, I think maybe we take it for granted sometimes as cruisers that not only are we there with thousands of other cruise passengers, but we're also there with thousands of crew members working their job, doing what they can to support a family or to make their dreams come true. And, cruise ship, big machine, big danger places. And we have two crew members that share that space with us, that we share with them. It's their space more than it's our space, as much time as they spend on it. Falling to tragedy. Certainly thoughts and prayers go out to the family and to anybody impacted. I'm assuming this would also impact their fellow crew members. I know that Holland's working to make sure they provide support to crew members and to people that were on board that ship. So cruise news story number three, we have a story of Cancellation on Royal Caribbean's Brilliance of the Seas. It's currently doing an 11-night sailing to the South Pacific, left from Sydney, Australia, and somewhere along the way, the ship broke down. The propulsion system of the ship is broken, and so they're having to alter the itinerary of that 11-day sailing, canceling the rest of their port stops, and they're going to make their way back to Sydney, Australia sooner than expected. There is another cruise scheduled for Brilliance of the Seas on March the 30th, 5 days from now, but that cruise has been canceled. They don't feel like they'll get the propulsion system fixed in time. That was just a 5-day Tasmanian cruise. And so now you have two sets of cruisers. You have future cruisers that were going to cruise on the 30th. You have the current cruisers. The future cruisers, we know what the compensation is, 100% refund for the cruise that they are missing. Royal Caribbean has pledged to help up to $400 with travel changes, and they're also going to give them a 50% future cruise credit that they can use within a year to book another cruise. No solid word yet on any compensation that's going to be given to the people that are on the 11-day cruise. They're going to end up with a bunch more sea days. They're going to miss a lot of ports. They're actually going to get back early. So yeah, there's going to be obviously probably some proration of the days missed, and Royal Caribbean's pretty good with compensation, so they'll be compensated also. But yeah, mechanical failure causing disruption for cruisers. And then the last story comes from the MSC Euribia that has already left Southampton in the UK. It did a cruise and returned to Southampton, but during that cruise on March the 16th, we have a 23-year-old passenger, Liam Jones, going overboard and not being recovered, now missing. The circumstances of the overboard, like so many of these, the actual overboard was verified by the cameras on the MSC Euribia. That footage has been shared with his family. But beyond that, there's not much more information known as to why this incident occurred. And of course, it's leaving family devastated with questions. Why did this happen? And then, what happens now? And so, yeah, again, that's not an unusual story. It's certainly an infrequent story about people going overboard on cruise ships. But man, 23-year-old kid overboard, had a wife, of course, got a whole family, moms, all that stuff. And yeah, just gone. Whew, wow, yeah. Sometimes it's like this, like, I guess to be fair, we have to put it in context, right? These are 4 not great stories about cruising that's impacting several thousand passengers, but at the same time, cruising has happened during the same time period for, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in the same time period that had a wonderful cruise vacation. So it's, I guess it's worth reminding all of us, even though this stuff's kind of depressing, that, at the same time that cruise life continues, and it's, it's devastating at times and it's joyous at times. And so, as we do, we celebrate with those who celebrate, we mourn with those who mourn. Wow, look, I hope you guys are having an okay weekend and doing well where you are at. I appreciate you watching the show. Please, if you could, hit the thumbs up just for the presentation, not for the stories. And if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in cruising, I would invite you to subscribe. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll bring a better batch of cruise news and we can get back to yucking it up and cutting it up. But yeah, sometimes the serious is the serious. So thank you for watching the show. It's Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.
Cruise news, cruise news, cruise